this morning. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. My guest is a lecturer from the University of Port Harcourt, Professor Glory Amadi. And Professor Glory Amadi is a lecturer at Department of Educational Psychology, Guidance and Counselling. We're talking about the demise, the death of a female UNIPORT student, lessons to be learned from it, and how can we prevent such horrific incidents from happening ever again in any of our tertiary institutions, not just the University of Port Harcourt or any other. Generally, what could we do, or what should we be doing to see that such doesn't happen again? Especially when we look at the record that we have in past events and series of events of similar nature at different times. Remember that you can join in on the conversation. Get on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH and respond to this. Whether you think making it mandatory for students to stay in the campuses, is that something that could help stop a repeat of this kind of horrific incident? Should we make it compulsory? All students live in the campus. Let us know what you think about it. I'll get to my guest also to speak with us, Professor Glory Amadi. Sir, thank you once again for staying on the line for us. My most recent question. Okay, before we get to my most recent question, I'll let you conclude on your line of thoughts before the commercial. You were talking about the value system and now what the new value system is for society and how that is contributing to the problems that we have. If you can just continue.
Yes, we have to know as a people what we are pursuing. We have to know, the society has to know what we are pursuing. What matters most to us? Is it to live good life, to have good relationship, to have good society built on the spirit of excellence, to honesty, integrity? Is it the society we want? Or are we building a society that is only focused on the amount of money you command, the work you command? You see, so when we address such important issue, this is a foundational issue, then the society will have direction. People will know that at a certain age, you are not expected to do certain things because the society does not expect it. You know, but if a society is built on you become a politician, why you're a politician is to make money. You become a lecturer, why you're a lecturer is to be a billionaire. You become this, why you are that. The young ones who are growing up will think that all that matters is to make money by all means. So a society has to address such so that we know what exactly we are pursuing.
What would you suggest, for instance, in schools? How can we begin to adjust? Because even in schools, we can see it's. I mean, I also I graduated from the University of Port Harcourt, and I've been through the four walls of the university. And like the popularly would say, it's not just about going through the university will go through you. And we saw, even at that time, 2007, 2008, we could also see how people were interested while in school to see how they get wealth or drive cars, live in certain houses at that stage. I mean, I also would even admit that at some point in my life in school, I got to that stage where I started having those kind of thoughts. Thankful to my mother, who would call and say, "You are sent to school to read, and that is the only thing I expect from you. You are not coming to help family. That is not what we want from you. The best help you can give us is to go to school and finish and come out. That is what we need from you now."
What school does in the life of a person, schooling is foundational. Schooling is like making an investment. It's like going to farm to plant something that will grow. So in school, a learner is there to develop himself intellectually, socially, morally, physically, and otherwise. And now, when he does this, he comes with this developed person he has become to the society. When he comes to society, he finds himself in a place and he begins to live like he sets up a family, he begins to make contributions, he begins to be productive. Schooling is a time when you equip yourself for a child is in school for development. If you place, there is time for everything. If you play the cat before the horse, there will be problem. When you are in school, you focus. I was a student We could make money from skills. We could print banners and do those things and cut people to make money for survival at that time. It was not the type of money that our parents didn't have. No, you will make your focus. There is time and season for everything. As a student, you are there to develop yourself. The money will certainly come. But when you mess it up, when you lose that focus, it will go wrong. That is why you now see such things happening now. They never happened this way before. Whether you are living on campus, you are living at home, wherever you are coming to school from, if you are focused, say, I am going to school to develop. Now, look at what has happened. This young lady must have been enticed materially because somebody gives you money, a fellow student is giving you money, you are not asking, what is our income source? Now, from material inducement, she has gone to the person's house, and they have induced her with drugs because the security man said, we never had any screaming. We never had any noise, which means she must have been induced with drugs and then she will sleep off and then she'll be killed. So if a child is told, come, let us go out, let us go to this place, he said, no, my parents brought me here to study. Don't give me the money. The one my parents have given to me, I will manage. You will see that such things will be limited.
You made mention of, you said something about whether you're coming from the hostel or off the campus, wherever, it wouldn't matter if you have your focus. Does that mean that you don't think that it should be made compulsory when we look at the situation of things?
No, except private schools that want to set up all the facilities and also for economic reasons, except for that reason, schools, students cannot pay for
but when you look at the success rates, sorry, Prof.
Whenever you are coming, what is your focus? Do you know why you are in school? So, telling the suggestion that even if you put all students on campus, the crime, if people have the tendencies of criminality, you will still see these things happening there. So the problem is not about they all living on campus or off campus.
So what then should be done? You also made mention of the age to have certain monies and the age to live a certain lifestyle, or at what age to display wealth. If you could just talk more about that.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead, Prof.
Yes. You see, when we try to fight against nature, it will bounce back. It fire us back. A child is going up from primary to secondary to university and all that. You graduate, and then with your degree, you secure a job. You're a teacher. You are a civil servant. You are this. You begin to earn income. That is not to say that a student in school cannot. I need money as a student from cutting hair. I had a clipper. Others during the close to I cut hair and make small money.
In other words,
to help myself. But by the time I think is how to buy the car, build the house, live in luxurious houses and things like that my parents couldn't even afford. Then something is wrong. That's what I'm saying.
So what
I'm saying.
Okay, let's open the phone lines and take a few calls. We'll perhaps get some responses and questions from this, and hope that the listener would have something to say from or learn something from what you're saying about this very sad incident. On Facebook, it is Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. The numbers to call are 0817 923 0007. We have quite a few messages on Facebook Live and people watching from across the country. Micah says is watching from Abuja. Umes Sunday is watching from Benin. Jones P says, I agree to some extent that the hostel is safe, but what about during holiday periods? Exactly. That's also, I think that would refer to something that my guest has already said. we really need to start working inward, and that would be a major way to tackle this. Some people have called for the compulsory living in the hostel thing, because when you look at the private universities, that's what it is. You do not have these issues happen too often, but then not that they don't. We still have students from private schools who still do very unspeakable things. Barry Tema, good morning, says whether or not off campus, this can happen to anybody who lacks the following: little self-control, contentment, emotional intelligence, security consciousness, ability to study one's environment and danger signs in people. That would be profiling a person or a personality. Not many people do that. It all boils down to the quality of orientation you get from home too. Emphasis on quality. My dad would hammer security consciousness on a daily basis. He would always tell us to be alert always and regard everybody as a suspect and never get carried away. Girls or youths in general need to calm down. This generation seems to be on so much in a rush to make things or make money and pepper them. God knows who. Okay, that's from Facebook. Let's look at Muriel in Okrika. Muriel, good morning.
Yeah, Femi, good morning. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Your Christian woman on the line. Look, Femi, I would like to make one or two suggestions. This, when during admission, when they want to admit students, if there is a way the university authority can insist that before they give you admission, or maybe after you're through with your clearance, you should come with somebody, a parent. They should get the identification of a parent or a guardian attached to all your credentials, everything together, and placed in the department.
I think they do that. I think you have that. You have guarantors and you have all of those. You have those things done.
Then they can easily contact your guardians and your parents, call them to the university and formally expel or know what they want to do with these students. And maybe the parents of the students can say their own version of it. And secondly, you see these guys, these Yahoo guys, they are so much in, especially Uniport. If you go there, you will see cars. You will see them floating Mercedes-Benz cars. If there is a way they can restrict students, if you're a student, you're not permitted to drive any kind of university. Honestly, you're not permitted to flaunt wealth. You either use the school shuttle bus or you stroll down. Don't come and flaunt it, because when they flaunt this way, you see that they entice others. They come, they cruise around, they screech their cars. That is what has been enticing other boys to go into it. But if you come into the university, you can park your car anywhere. Outside the university, you can do anything you want. But when you're coming into the university to learn, please don't come with your flashy cars. Just park your cars outside and be normal with the school. If they can, with the other students, if they can do that, maybe it can curtail all these kind of things. Because other boys are being enticed. When they come, they oppress others with their wealth.
Thank you very much.
I think is making this increase by the day.
All right, thank you, Muriel. Eric in Gokana, good morning. Okay, let's go to Zion. Zion is in GRA. Good morning, Zion.
Yeah, good morning.
Go ahead.
I feel like subjecting the school to this whole issue, the hostel, the campus, to me it's a cacophony. We should look at the parenting, which is the core issue here. If these kids have a parent in their life, they will not subject themselves to such an issue that we are discussing this morning. We all went to the same school, is it not so? But we have parents in our life who program discipline in our minds. The things we do, the kind of food we eat, the kind of friends we keep, our association, they were monitoring it from the house, even without being there. So the school has nothing to do with this. It's an environment for younger people. We should be looking at the parenting. Mr. Father, are you in the life of these your kids in school? Because some in school, they are something else. At home, they are angels. So we see them, they are miniskirt on campus. When they are going back home, they will now wear the long gown. So who is fooling who? So leave the school alone. I love the way the school is operating. It's the best practice, but we should look at their parents.
All right, thank you very much. Kenneth in Igruta, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, Kenneth, go ahead.
Yes, I want to contribute to the discussion going on. It is really unfortunate that this kind of thing is happening in our universities these days. But I must, first of all, blame the parents. Parents in their own side are supposed to checkmate their children. How can you send your child to school? After 1 semester, 2 semesters, you see him coming home with a car. You don't care to ask this child, who has this car? How come about this? You welcome him. Just like that. Even the personal ruler will celebrate them, give them titles. How do you think it will stop? I went to University of Prof one of these days to see my son in their living up campus. When you get into the rooms of these boys, you begin to wonder. I asked some of them, if you have all these things while you're as a student, when you graduate, what do you think you have? You have theater, you have your own theater, you have good televisions. It doesn't happen this way. You cannot pursue two things in life at a time. And after the other. Money will come when it will come. If you ruin your life now because of all the things you are seeing, at the end of the day, you have yourself to be blamed. Brother, our parents have to do a lot of work in this issue.
All right,
not just students. How many parents have come to school to see where their children are living? How many parents have asked even the result of their children? Some children have become a professional student in the school there. They have refused to graduate because they're making a lot of money there. My brother, my blame goes to the parents.
All right, Kenneth, thank you. Let's go to Kunle in Bori, and then we wrap up with Susie and come back to my guest. Kunle, good morning. Is in Borokri?
Yeah, this is Kunle from Borokri.
Yes, Kunle, go ahead.
Yeah. You see, many a times when I hear people reacting whenever an issue like this comes up, I get angry partly and I get amused. When something like this has not happened, you see people talking from time to time. Maybe you try to discipline a child and all that. The reaction of people is always different. But when that thing will begin to sow a bad seed, everybody will begin to call Nigeria info. It is very fantastic. It is very this. It is very that. But we will not listen in the build-up to what has now become so bad today. The situation now is so bad that you don't even understand where to start from or where to even end it. The society is so messed up in so many ways. Parents discipline their children when you are in school. You are in fact, they will want to steal you as a teacher. Come to secondary to and even see what is happening. You are talking of university. It's like there's no sense anymore in the society. You will shout and cry for government from now to tomorrow. Government do this, do that. Somebody came and messed education up for 8 good years and ran away to Abuja. These are the things we are saying. To the peaceful, they will not listen. And they will want you to be the angel to rectify the evil they have unleashed on society. So what are we talking about? They are saying they should be wearing uniform in the university. Some people should. I will drive my car. It is not me who say your own father should not be able to afford it. But if you are well trained from home, we went to school. We met rich people in school. People who came from well-to-do homes. But we did not misbehave on that basis. It's because of the breakdown. See, what? All these television artists, all these movie people and the rest, all those kind of people, they have unleashed all manners of rubbish on the society. And these politicians too. So everybody wants to be like them. That is what is causing
all right, Kunle, thank you very much. Let's go to Susie and then we wrap up with Andy. Susie, please try to keep it brief. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I think it is a societal problem, not even particularly related to what is happening in the school. Because if we go on and on, you discover that this sort of thing has happened even within the university campuses, not to mention any name. Let me just say that the professor is coming from the angle and department of psychology. There is also the department of culture and religious studies in the University of Port Harcourt. Now, the professor mentioned values and also mentioned morality. Morality as it applies in academics is one. Morality as it applies in the society where we live. What is our culture and tradition as we speak? Are we not supposed to be teaching? Recently, the Attorney General of the Federation of Family advocated for the domestication of our tradition in resolving issues like this in our state, in our country, in our society. Now, if these cultures and traditions are being taught to the extent that we practice them even within the school, you know that there are activities you will not do, because you know that the moment you go against the culture and tradition of the state, not just by specific law, bringing police and army, you know that there's a problem. The professor who is talking to you now know that there are some certain deities in their communities where when you were born, you will never do anything contrary to that effect. If it does not affect you, it will affect your family. This morning I was talking about even this young man who killed this girl. There should be a compulsory marriage between the dead body of that girl and the guy, even if he's in the prison. Why did I say that? Because culture is one thing that is dividing our children, our people. I am acting today because...
All right, Susie, a point made. Let's go to Andy in Alakaya. Thank you, so we can wrap up. Andy, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning. Go ahead, please.
Okay, yeah. So, my thoughts on this is that there are many factors that contribute. And the rest of that, for example, how many students is it going to accommodate? Because if you look around, the students stay Alakaya, Choba, Delta. So, like, if 4 students have to go and stay inside the campus, is the school capable of accommodating everybody? The answer is no. So now, okay, you're saying we shouldn't drive fancy cars. The students should not drive their cars into the school. There are those that are able to afford it, and then there are those that their parents afford the cars for them. So that is not an option. If you have your car that you acquire in a legitimate way, in a legal way, you can drive your car to school, because the short two cannot contain everybody into the school. So at the end of the day, even the government has a role. Look at the society. The economy is bad. Like, people are suffering every day. But then at the end of the day, you as an individual,
all right,
if
Andy,
you don't allow all these things to
push you,
the urge to go and start doing illegal things.
All right, Andy, thank you. But let's get back to my guest quickly. Prof, as we attempt to wrap up in less than a minute, while I was in school, there were areas where they would say this is for student areas. Students live here. Yeah. Then there's the town areas and those areas where, it's not for students. Students don't go to live in those areas. These days, students seem to live anywhere, everywhere. Places that expensive estates you have everywhere. What would you say, just in less than a minute, about that? And also, a lot has been said about the guys. What advice would you give to the young ladies who are students as well?
Okay, to the young ladies, I will, in fact, to young people generally, I'll tell them to be goal-directed. If you know what you are pursuing in life at a particular stage in life, pursue it with all vigor and remain focused. If you are studying, you are for studies. If people want to distract you, to engage you, you resist them and focus on your studies. That's one. Two, young people should know what they are going for at a particular time. Money will never cease to be. Money will never, it will never finish. So
okay, Prof.
You take your time. There will be a time when nobody's against.
Prof, thank you very much. We'll have to wrap it up there. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Are you ready for the flight? Yeah. Maximize your gains day or night. The platform, HFM, the name.